Mastering the weekly schedule is one of the biggest edges you can gain in fantasy basketball. Let's map out the key streaming windows and favorable matchups for the upcoming week. First, mark your calendar for the light slate days, where streaming options become critical. This week, those days are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, each with 5 or fewer games. Target players from teams playing on those nights to maximize your starts. Now, focus on game volume. Only 3 teams play 4 games this week: the Houston Rockets, the Miami Heat, and the Toronto Raptors. Make sure your players from these teams are active, and target pickups from their rosters. Conversely, 13 teams play only 2 games. If you're heavily invested in the Nets, Hornets, Cavaliers, Warriors, or Lakers, for example, you may need to seek streaming replacements to keep pace. Now, let's talk matchups, starting with the 4-game teams. The Houston Rockets have the extra games, but the schedule is a mixed bag with 2 matchups against the defensively solid Nuggets. However, Denver is vulnerable to opposing small forwards, which is a great sign for Kevin Durant. The games against New Orleans and Sacramento are much softer, particularly for 3-point shooting and points in the paint. Look for role players like Reed Shepherd, Aaron Holiday, or Steven Adams to potentially shine in those spots. The Miami Heat also have 4 games, facing Toronto, Brooklyn, Boston, and New York. This stretch features several opponents struggling to defend the 3-point line. This is a perfect setup for Tyler Herro and Norman Powell, and even Bam Adebayo, who is hitting threes at a career rate, should benefit. The Toronto Raptors round out the 4-game group. Their schedule includes favorable defensive holes: Miami gives up rebounds, Milwaukee fouls a lot, Boston allows offensive boards, and Brooklyn is weak defending the paint. This benefits Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram, and could create deep league streaming value for guards like Jamal Shead or hustle players like Colin Murray-Boyles. For teams with only 3 games, the Atlanta Hawks stand out due to their soft opponents. They face Charlotte, San Antonio, and Chicago, all rank in the top 7 for points allowed. This is a fantastic week for their front court of Onyeka Okongwu and Jalen Johnson to produce. Shooters like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Luke Kennard could also get hot from deep. Rookie Zachary Rizicher, widely available, is a speculative add who could thrive in these high-scoring environments. Plan your moves around these light slates, prioritize players from 4-game teams like Houston, Miami, and Toronto, and exploit the juicy matchups for teams like Atlanta. A little schedule savvy goes a long way in winning your weekly matchup.